In the void-silent, ice-crusted ruins of Europa, a moon orbiting a long-dead gas giant in the forgotten Tau Ceti system, circa 3122. The currency that ensured survival beneath the frozen surface wasn't salvaged pre-collapse tech or hoarded geothermal power cells, but encrypted data crystals known as cryocoins. Their creation, transaction, and immutable history were recorded on the glacial Satoshi network, a decentralized, cryo-resistant blockchain powered by the moon's faint, residual tidal stresses and geothermal warmth. Its origins whispered to be the last work of a vanished scientific outpost dedicated to studying zero-Kelvin computing. Cryocoins, or frostbits, as the ice tunnel scavengers and subglacial habitat dwellers called them, were as precious and fragile as a perfect ice crystal, their value tied to the life-sustaining energy they could unlock from the moon's frozen heart. Deep within the silent labyrinth, a network of ancient, ice-carved tunnels miles beneath Europa's frozen crust, shielded from the system's lethal radiation and the prying sensors of the off-world SolCorp mining conglomerate, lay the Frozen Heart Archive. It was less a library in any conventional sense, and more a colossal, naturally formed ice cave, its walls embedded with massive, impossibly old data crystals that pulsed with the glacial network's core code, a silent symphony of ice, light, and forgotten information. Here, Aurora Icewalker Vane, a young, determined cryoengineer with a rare, inherited ability to interface with the ancient data crystals without shattering their delicate structures, carefully ran her gloved fingers over a pulsating master crystal. Her insulated, enviro-sealed suit, a patchwork of scavenged SolCorp tech and native Europan survival gear, hissed softly as it recycled her precious body heat in the archive's near-absolute zero temperature. Aurora often pondered the fragmented oral traditions, the tales of how the glacial network was crystallized from the dying breath of the Tau Ceti system's star by the zero-Kelvin scientists, using a mythical, cold fusion algorithm known as the Absolute Zero Cipher. It wasn't just software. It was a testament to the persistence of information, even in the coldest, darkest reaches of space. Its primary access keys, the ice glyphs deliberately embedded within the most geologically unstable and cryovolcanically active regions of Europa, to ensure that no single entity, neither the rapacious SolCorp nor any desperate, power-hungry ice pirate clan, could ever truly control the flow of cryocoins and the life-sustaining geothermal energy they represented. Her reclusive, isolated community, the Keepers of the Frozen Flame, were the last known descendants of the original outpost scientists, biologically adapted to Europa's frigid, lightless environment, tasked with the thankless, perilous duty of maintaining the glacial network's fragile stability. Aurora wasn't just an engineer. She was a guardian, one of the few remaining keepers capable of safely resonating with the ice glyphs, sworn to protect a critical fragment of the Absolute Zero Cipher. Her ice glyph, a flawless, multifaceted ice crystal that seemed to refract an inner, impossible light, was fused into the palm of her insulated glove, pulsing with the faint, rhythmic tremor of Europa's hidden geothermal heart. Casting a long, exploitative shadow over Europa from its heavily fortified, geothermal-powered drilling platform, the Icebreaker, was the SolCorp mining conglomerate, led by the ruthless and pragmatic administrator Kalen Thorne. Thorne, a man who saw Europa not as a unique, albeit hostile, environment teeming with potential for extremophile life, but as a limitless source of easily exploitable geothermal energy and rare, cryo-stabilized minerals, believed that the glacial network's decentralized, community-controlled nature was an impediment to maximum resource extraction and shareholder profitability. He viewed the Keepers of the Frozen Flame and their precious cryocoins as quaint, anachronistic relics of a failed scientific experiment, obstacles to be efficiently removed or ruthlessly assimilated into the SolCorp machine. In his encrypted, quarterly projections to the corporation's distant Sol-based board of directors, Thorne spoke with cold precision of optimizing the Europan energy market and integrating its geothermal and mineral resources into the corporate supply chain for the sustained prosperity of the Sol system. His true, brutal objective was to locate and seize control of the primary ice glyphs, decipher the Absolute Zero Cipher, and divert the entirety of Europa's geothermal output directly to Sol-core energy-hungry industrial worlds, leaving the native Europan habitats to freeze and die in the ensuing ecological and economic collapse. He needed a functioning ice glyph, and ideally a guardian who understood its connection to the glacial network's core, to achieve this without triggering a catastrophic, moon-fracturing cryovolcanic chain reaction. In her clan's hidden, geothermally warmed habitat deep within the silent labyrinth, Aurora felt a growing, painful dissonance in her ice glyph, a clear sign that the glacial network's delicate cryothermodynamic balance was being aggressively, dangerously disrupted. A desperate, coded thermopulse, a final plea for help, reached her through the network of interconnected ice tunnels from Elder Lyra, another guardian whose community was desperately defending a critical geothermal vent network, a major power node for the glacial network. Lyra's fading thermosignature warned her, her thoughts a jumble of freezing cold, encroaching darkness, and desperate defiance. Ilara, Thorn's geothermal survey probes. They are not surveying, they are deploying cryodampeners, deep ice sonic emitters designed to shatter the master crystals and disrupt our connection to the ice glyphs. He prepares for a total freeze protocol, an attempt to force a brute force energy drain and subsequent system crash of the glacial network during the Long Dark. Europa's cyclical, decades-long passage through Tau Ceti's distant, icy asteroid belt, when external energy sources are at their absolute minimum. Aurora projected her own wave of focused, cryo-resonant anger, a query laced with grim determination. How can he force a total freeze without shattering the moon, Lyra? The zero-Kelvin scientists built the network to resist catastrophic failure. Lyra's reply was a faint, dying pulse of warmth, a whisper of freezing despair. He has captured other guardians, tortured them for their ice glyph resonance patterns, or worse, created crude, unstable, synthetic ice cores from stolen Europan water ice and trace minerals. If he can capture you, Aurora, or replicate your unique, stable ice glyph signature, he can bypass the glacial network's cryothermodynamic safety protocols. Your ice glyph is not just a key. Guardian, it's the master override for the absolute zero, Cipher's emergency heat shunt system, the one thing preventing a total, irreversible cryocollapse of the entire moon. Suddenly, powerful. Focused cryoseismic blasts rocked the Keeper's habitat. Emergency thermal shielding flared, then cracked under the sustained, targeted assault. Icy fissures, glowing with an ominous, internal blue light, spiderwebbed across the frozen walls. "They've found us," Aurora cried to her community, her own ice glyph now blazing with an intense, almost painfully cold light.